Hello, it's Gem Games here once again, and in this video we're going to create this pause menu that you see here on the screen. So yeah, let's get started. First, we want to go to the blueprints folder and to the HUD. Then what we want to do, we want to actually create a new blueprint class. And we want to search for user widget. Okay, let's call it pause menu like this. Let's open it. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to add a canvas panel. And then we want to add a image. Let's move it to here. Now we want to anchor it to the full screen, basically, like that. Then we want to reset all these offsets. So offset left, 0, offset top, 0, offset right, 0, offset bottom, 0, like that. Now let's change the tint to black. And this alpha, let's make it 0.99, like this. So it's not completely dark. It's like I don't know how to say it, but like you can see a little bit through. Okay. The next thing we want to do, let's actually rename this image to background. Okay. So the next thing, what we want to do, we want to add a text. Let's move it to here. Let's anchor it to the left, like this. Okay, let's set the position X to 100, position Y to 0, and now let's actually change the font. So let's open the font. Let's change the font size to a lot bigger. So let's make it like 80. Okay, and let's actually also change this size X to 400 and size Y to 120, like that. Okay, now let's change the text to menu, like this. And let's change the typeface to regular. I don't know how to pronounce that. So, like that. Now let's go to the alignment and to the alignment Y, and let's make it 4. So it's there. Okay. Next thing we want to do, we want to actually click this. Let's click this canvas, and then we want to search for a button. Let's move the button to the canvas. Okay, let's click it. Let's anchor it to the left. Let's change the size X to 250, size Y to 50 maybe. And let's open the style, normal. Let's make this color, doesn't matter. I will actually make it like that we don't see it basically. But you can obviously make it look however you want. I will just make it like this. And now on the Howard, also the same, alpha to 0. And then on the crest, we want to set also the alpha to 0. Let's also do the disabled tint alpha 0. Okay. So the next thing I want to do, I want to get a text. I want to move it to the button like that. And now I want to align it to the left corner. Oh, sorry, I don't want to do it like that. Let's put it to the middle. Okay. Yeah, sorry. I'm stupid. I want to align it to the left like that. Okay. Now I want to change the typeface to regular again, and size I will make it 30. So like that. Now let's rename this, change this text to resume. like that. Let's click the button. And now we want to set X position 100, Y 0, and alignment Y 3.5, like that. Okay, it's looking pretty good. The next thing, I want to actually rename this button. Let's call it resume. Text, let's rename it to resume underscore text, like that. Now let's duplicate this button. Let's rename this to restart, sorry. And also this text to restart text, like that. Now let's let's click the button again. Let's change the position X to 100, Y to 0, and the Y alignment to 2, like that. Okay, now let's click this text and let's change it to restart, like that. So the next thing, let's duplicate it again. And now we want to call this button settings, and this text settings text. Okay, now let's click the button again and let's change the position X to 100 and Y to 0 and alignment to 0.5, I think, yeah. Now let's click the text again and let's change it to settings. Okay, one more time. Let's duplicate the settings. Let's set it first. Sorry, we want to set the name of the button first. Main menu, and this text, main menu text, like that. So let's change this text to main menu, like this. And now let's click this button and let's set the position X to 100 and position Y to 0 and alignment Y -1. So now you can see it's looking pretty decent. So next thing, what we want to do, we want to actually create this widget. So let's compile, save. Let's move this widget next to the first person map. Let's open the first person map. Let's go to the blueprints. Let's open the PP first person character. We can actually close all of these extra functions here. We only need the event graph. Now let's first actually go to the edit and to the project settings. And here on the input, we want to add a new input. So, sorry, I haven't used Unreal in like, I don't know, 10 days, so I'm a little bit lost. So let's add a new action mapping. New action mapping 0. Let's rename it to pause. And let's map it to whatever we want. I will map it to M or P, or I will make it M. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired also. So now it is mapped. We can close the project settings. Let's go to the PP first person character. Now let's find some empty space. Let's right click and search. Sorry, we actually need more space. So let's add it here somewhere. We can after that we can move it to wherever we want, wherever it fits the best. So let's zoom a little bit here. Let's right click and let's search for pause. Scroll up, action events pause, like this. Okay, now we have this here. Now what we want to do also, we want to right click under it and we want to create a custom event. And we want to call this unpause. Okay. Now what we have to do, first we want to get from the input action pause and we want to set game post, of course, post true, like that. And we can actually copy this and paste it to the unpause. Now we just have to change the post to false, like that. The next thing, what we want to do, we want to get the get player controller, this one. Let's move it to here. And now we want to get from the return value, and we want to show mouse cursor, set so show mouse cursor like this. Set it here. And we want to set it true on the pause, and on the unpause we want to copy it, and we want to set it to false, like that. Sorry, we have to connect the player controller return value also. So the next thing, what we want to do is let's actually create a new function, or actually we can make it macro. Okay, let's create a new macro. Let's call it get viewport center point, like that. So what we want to do here is we want to add two outputs. First one will be type integer. Now let's call it x. The next one will be integer also. It will be called y. Okay. And what we want to do now, we want to right click and get viewport size like this. Then we want to divide it by 2 on the x and also 2 on the y, like this. And then we want to split this, and we want to truncate, I don't know how to pronounce that, truncate. Okay, and we want to also truncate y1, so like this. So let's compile, let's save, let's go back to the event graph, and here after this show mouse cursor, we want to set mouse position, and you will have to get from the player controller, or otherwise you won't see this. Now let's connect it here. Now we want to get the new macro that we have created. Get viewport center point, like this, and let's connect the x to x and y to y, and we can actually add a reroute to here, move it to here, add another reroute under here, because we will need to get more from this. So like this. The next thing, what we want to do, we want to get from here again, and we want to set input mode UI only, and we want to add yet another reroute to here. Okay, and to here lock on capture, like that. Then we want to get from this, and we want to set input mode game only, and we want to get from the unpause after the show mouse cursor, like this. Okay, the next thing what we want to do, we actually, let's go back to the pause menu quickly, and let's go to the graph. Let's add a variable. Let's call it player ref. Okay, and we want to change the variable type to first pp first person character object reference, like this. Okay, let's compile, save. Actually, we have to make it instance editable and expose on spawn, like that. Okay, now let's compile and save. Let's go back to the pp first person character. And here, after we have set the input mode UI only, we want to create widget, and we want to select the class, which will be the pause menu. Now we have the player ref here. What we want to do, we want to get from it, and we want to get a reference to self, like this. So now we are saving our player as reference on here on the menu, so we can later on use it to access this unpause event. After that, we want to promote it to a variable on the return value, and we want to rename this variable to pause menu ref, like this. And from here we want to add to viewport, like this. And now, after the set input mode game only here, what we want to do is we want to get from here, and we want to check if it is valid, and we want to check this one with the question mark. And we want to get the pause menu ref. We want to connect it to the input object, and also we want to get from here, and we want to remove from parent, connect it to the is valid, like this. And let's add a reroute to here. Actually, I will align this. Okay, your code should look something like this. So let's compile, let's save, and let's try. Let's play, press the M key when the game loads. Okay, and you can see we have this menu. Now what we have to do, we want to actually make so that when we click this resume, we will close this menu. Okay, so let's go to the pause menu. Let's delete all these functions that we have here. Start. Events. And what we want to do is we want to go to the designer. We want to click the resume, this button, not the text, like this button, or you can select it from here. And you want to scroll down, and on clicked, you want to create a event. And now you want to just get the player ref. And from here, you want to call the function onPause. And it should work like this. We still have one more thing to do after this. So let's just try this quickly. So let's compile, save, play. Now, when we press N, you can see the menu. When we press this, we can go back. Okay, everything works pretty nicely. And when we open the menu, you can see the mouse is always centered to the screen. So it's not like here somewhere on the, you know, when you play FPS, your mouse still is moving on the screen, even though you cannot see it. So when you open the menu without this code to center it, it will be somewhere in the, I don't know, somewhere else. Okay, so let's make the menu buttons look a lot better. So let's go to the menu. And what we want to do here is we want to create a simple code. So let's go to designer. Let's select the resume button again. We want to create a event on Howard. Let's go back to designer. Let's scroll down again and on Howard. Okay, and here what we want to do with this is we want to first move them apart a little bit like this. Then we want to get the resume. Oh, sorry, we have to go to designer first. We want to click this resume text, and we want to make it variable. Also, restart text, we want to make it variable. Settings text is variable. Main menu text is variable. Let's compile, save, and go back to the graph. So now that we have the resume text here, we can get it to here, and we want to set color and opacity. This one here. I don't know actually what's the difference. Let's see, color and opacity. I don't actually know what's the difference between these, but I use this one with the F. This F here, you know, function or something like that. I don't know. So let's move it here and let's connect it. Actually, let's align them. I don't like them to be misaligned. Now let's also get this again. Control C, Control V, and let's connect it to resume. Sorry, unhovered. So what I will actually align this also. Now let's connect this to here also. And now from here we want to make slate color like this. This slate color. Let's set the color to white, but let's set the alpha to. Actually, this is on the hovered. Sorry, alpha white and alpha to 1.0 like that. Now let's copy this. Control C, Control V here. Let's connect this to the unhovered. Let's open this and let's only make the alpha like 0.75 or something like that. Okay. So one thing that I actually remembered. Let's go back to designer. I think we will have to change these. Yeah, we will have to click this text, resume text, and we want to here on the color and opacity. Let's change the alpha to 0.75 like that. Okay, let's click the restart text, color and opacity, alpha 0.75. Okay, settings, color and opacity, alpha 0.75. Okay, main menu, the same thing, 0.75. Okay, now it should be made the right way. So let's go back to the graph. And here now we have set it so when we hover, let's actually see how it looks. So let's open the menu, resume. You can see it goes more clear when you hover over it. And you can actually make this look however you want, but I like this way. This is simple, but yet effective. So let's actually tighten this up a little bit because these are all like they take too much space. I don't know why I want to make this like this tiny, but yeah. Okay, now what I want to do here, I want to actually move these all these to here. Okay, so these are the functions for the resume button. The next thing we want to do is we want to get the restart button, so only the restart. We want to unclick this. Let's actually move it to here and restart again, and on hovered, restart on unhovered like this. So, and after that we want to select all these without the events, Control C, Control V, and let's move them to here. Let's move the unhovered to here. Let's connect it. Let's connect the hovered. And only thing we have to change here now is let's change the reference to the restart text. Let's delete the resume text. Let's move it here. Let's connect them. Let's compile, save. Now the restart should also, yeah, you can see it's working, not the button, but the hovering effect. And now we have to do it to the settings and main menu also. So, let's move this a little bit up first. Okay, so like this. And actually, from the we don't have to do anything to this yet. Let's do it later. So let's copy this one more time, or actually 2 more times. Let's put it to, let's see, put it to here. Now let's click the settings, only the settings, so it's the button reference. Unclicked, let's move the unclicked to here. You can see I'm matching this with the this grid, you know. I like everything to be organized. Actually, if you check my event graph, it's not that organized, but I will later on make it more organized. But I like them to be at least somehow organized. You can see some rule here that I'm following. Like, yeah. So, sorry, sorry about that. We want to change this restart text reference to the settings text reference. Let's put it here. Let's connect it to target. Let's connect it to target. Now let's click the settings button again and on Howard. Also the settings and on unhovered. Now let's move this where it is supposed to go, to here. The on Howard to this top one, and on unhovered to this bottom one, like this. So one more thing we have, one more time we have to paste this code. So you should have it pasted still. Sorry, copied still. So let's move it here. And now on here we want to delete this restart text again, and we want to get the main menu text reference here and here. Now we want to click this main menu, and we want to unclicked. We want to add that. And we want to move it to here. So they are all ready when we add the code to them. And let's click the main menu again, and on Howard, and main menu on unhovered, like this. And let's connect these like this, hovered to the up and unhovered to the bottom one. Now we can compile, we can actually save all. Let's go to the first person map. Let's play. So M, and you can see every button is working, and we have a working pause menu. You can see the pause is working. Everything is working. So on the next episode we will add the, you know, the scoreboard thing here where you can see the kills, headshots, stuff like that. So yeah, I think that was all for this video. If you like what you saw, please click the like button and subscribe for more. And yeah, hope you guys have a great day and see you in the next one. Bye.